Stitch and Lindy. I am making actually a quick meatloaf. So I thought I would show you. I know I showed pictures of my meatloaf the last time I did it in my Epicure meatloaf pan. So I wanted to show you how I did it. So my recipe is a little bit different than a regular meatloaf. I actually got this recipe years ago from the Craft website. So what I have here is extra lean ground chicken, and I've just added an egg. So 1 egg and a pound of extra lean ground chicken. If you'd rather use turkey, then by all means. If you're using meat, again, make sure that you are, or sorry, not meat, beef. Make sure that you are accounting for your points. So extra lean ground chicken and 1 egg. And I am adding in a package of stovetop stuffing. I always grab the chicken. This one, the store was out of the low sodium, so I just have the regular, but I pointed this recipe out on the WW app, and for the low sodium or the regular, it's still the same amount of points. So it doesn't really change my recipe. So I'm adding this entire package. My sister makes this recipe as well, and she only uses half because she says the sodium's too high. So depending on how you like it, I like the full pack because it gives it more of a texture in the meatloaf. So 1 whole pack of the stovetop stuffing. And then my meatloaf, I just add simple spices, just black pepper and garlic powder. So whatever spices, if you want to add some sort of different seasoning, by all means you can. But I just like simple for the meatloaf because especially with the stovetop stuffing, it gives it a lot of seasoning in it. Just mix that a little. And then you can do this a couple different ways. Depending on what flavor you like. There's some days I will add ketchup. There's some days I will add barbecue sauce. So I'm actually going to do the barbecue sauce today because I'm going to use my Buster Rhinos. If you guys haven't seen my review on this, this is 0 points. It's made with stevia, and I ordered it from Buster Rhinos and Whippy. It's so good, and it's a mild barbecue sauce. They have a couple different flavors, but the mild is the one that I've tried. And actually, I was told this week by Leona, actually, from my WW meeting, that they came out with a couple new flavors as well. So this is 0 points. So I'm adding this in, and I'm just adding 1/3 cup to the actual meatloaf. And then I'm also going to add a little bit on top after it bakes, just to give it a bit more of a crunch, because in the microwave this does, because again we're cooking this with our steamer, so I'm baking it, I'm putting it in the microwave. You can do it in the oven as well, in the Epicure steamer, but I can get a meatloaf in 6 minutes. I'm doing it. Alright, so 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce. When I do the ketchup one, what I do is 1/3 cup of ketchup, and then I'll add a can of whole tomatoes onto the top of it. That was actually the recipe that we had growing up, was the ketchup and tomatoes. That was our meatloaf growing up, and we loved it. Okay, so just gonna add this into our Epicure, and again, because these are silicone, you do not have to put any oil. If you do want to put oil, just use a silicone brush. Do not use the aerosol, because Tracy informed me that the aerosol itself is what eventually breaks down the silicone over time. So you want to not use the silicone or the spray, but you don't need it. These are non-stick, so. And now, because I'm cooking with ground chicken, even with ground turkey, there's a lot of moisture that comes out of the meat. So when you are cooking with this, a lot of the liquid comes out because this is cooking as a solid form. If you were to be cooking this and using it as like a ground. So like for spaghetti, say if you were cooking your meat in this first before adding it to the sauce, you can mix that liquid in because it's the moisture from it. It's not grease, it's the moisture. But with this is the meatloaf, so you're not mixing it in. You're wanting it to stay solid, right? So this will come out of the meat and it's going to overflow. So I put down paper towel in my microwave, and I just let it, I put this on top of it. So that way it's not going to overflow all over my microwave. So there it is. I'm just going to put the lid on, and I'm going to pop this in my microwave on high for 6 minutes. Depending on what temperature your oven or your microwave is, give or take, mine was perfect at 6 minutes. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave for 6 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you how it looks like and show you how we finish it off. Hey everyone, so the meatloaf is done in the microwave, so it cooked for 6 minutes at high. So this is what it looks like. There actually wasn't too much overflow this time. And there's the meatloaf. So I'm just going to top it with, just because we like a little bit of sauce on the top, I'm going to top this with a little bit more barbecue sauce. Again, if you're doing it with the ketchup version instead, I top it with a can of tomatoes. So, I mean, I've topped it with tomato sauce as well. It gives it a really good crunch on the top to just kind of give a bit more of a crust on top. So I'm just spreading this out with a silicone brush. And what I'm going to do is pop this in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes at 350, just to kind of have that top a little bit more crispy on the top. So I'm going to put this in the oven with no lid on it. And just bake it for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how you want the top to crisp up. So I will pop this in now, and I will let you see how it looks when it's done.
Hi.
Hi everyone, we're back. So the meatloaf is done.
Hi.
So there it is once the barbecue sauce has baked. So that was in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. So in the microwave for 6 minutes, and then I took the lid off, added some more barbecue sauce, and put it in the oven at 350 with no lid on it for 10 minutes. So 16 minutes for a meatloaf, I think, is pretty good. And then I have some corn, and I'm also gonna serve it with asparagus that I've added some hoisin sauce to it. So I will post up a picture at the end of what the whole meal looks like. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys liked this video.
Hi, want to do that?
You're in the middle of a video. Your new favorite YouTube channel. Okay, your favorite YouTube channel should be Stitch and Lindy. So that's what your favorite YouTube channel should be, right? Who's your favorite YouTuber? What about me? What about Jean-Luc and Nick? I thought they were your favorite.
Not do.
They're your favorites too?
No, Udu my favorite.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so dinner in under 30 minutes. So under 30 minutes for a meal is pretty great. If you guys haven't checked out the Epicure meatloaf pans, it's definitely something you need to. I'm going to post this at the bottom of my screen. I always have my handles. So on Connect, my handle is @StitchAndLindy if you'd like to follow me. And my Facebook group is Stitch and Lindy's Weight Loss Journey. And on there, I will tag my Epicure consultant on there as well, so you can check out her page as well and see all the great products and recipes and different things that she's all the different things that she's sharing with the Epicure stuff. So meatloaf, the point wise, so I get 6 servings out of my meatloaf. If you want to do it a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker, just make sure you're putting it in the recipe builder. Stop doing that, please. in the recipe builder to make sure that your points are correct. As always, I always stress, even though you're seeing what I'm putting in it, make sure you are calculating it yourself. There's times that I make an error with the calculations, or there's times where you don't have the ingredients that I have, whether it be not low sodium, whether it is low sodium, if it's a different brand, whatnot. Everything could go towards making it a different point count. So make sure that you are checking that. So for the meatloaf with 6 portions out of it, it's 2 points per serving. So as long as you get 6 portions out of it, it's 2 points per serving, which is very low. I was actually shocked at how low it was because I add the stovetop stuffing. I thought I was gonna have to lose that recipe when I started WW, but it's actually a lot lower than I thought. So I am very happy that I can still keep my favorite meatloaf. Another thing that I wanted to mention, which this is actually part of the craft recipe, if anybody is interested in this, another thing that you can add to it is you saute half of a white onion in a frying pan with a 1/4 cup of the zesty Italian dressing. And then once that's done, let it cool off and add that to your meat mixture before you put this in the microwave. It's the flavor with the zesty Italian and the onions is so good. I just didn't have time today. I was trying to get this meal together quick. So yeah, meatloaf in under 30 minutes. Bye, Paigey. Meatloaf in under 30 minutes. 2 points per serving as long as you get 6 servings out of this. So I hope you guys like this recipe. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as always, my handles are at the bottom if you'd like to follow me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.